Greetings and welcome to the podcast. I'm here with Brad and Colin because about a year ago we made our own video game book club. Rules are simple. One person picks a game and you got to beat that game in a month. If you do, you get to pick the next game for everyone to play once your month comes around. It was my month and I picked ReCore. Now, I was described this game because someone said it was like Nier and Horizon Zero Dawn put together. That is not the case. That is not the case at all. It is the most watered down, diluted version of both those games. So let's start out with gameplay. Repetitive. Anybody else got something to weigh in on gameplay?
Well, if you like 7 different game types all put into one game and done completely the worst way, you'll fucking love ReCore.
Yeah, that's so the whole flowchart from what the game was trying to tell me, I believe, is that you have a bar, you have a charge shot, and then you just have a full auto that you hold that decreases accuracy over time. But when an enemy hits a certain HP threshold, you can press F to like rip out their core, which is then an insta kill. And it's a little tug of war minigame basically. But the thing is, once you rip it out, you get HP and ammo back. But later in the game, there's so many enemies that you can't even do that flowchart because you get knocked out of the minigame. So it's like, yeah, it was just really agitating.
Well, because then you have to get your combo up to do like the instant one, but it's so dumb.
Well, yeah, for a thing to classify as a combo, you have to kill the enemy, and some of them, the late game enemies in the tower, are such HP sponges that you just can't get the counter up.
And dude, when you get hit by an enemy, you're stun locked. Like you'll straight up just die because there's so much hit stun on every move.
Those dogs. It's not necessarily those dogs
dude.
themselves, dude. They dash all the way across the screen, and then one of those other fucking big enemies will just mollywop you. ReCore was designed by Concept, which gave us Mighty Number 9, and it was also developed by Armature Studio, who ported Duck Game to the Nintendo Switch. So we got
an illustrious fucking past.
I will say the platforming was mostly fun.
Platforming was solid, which it should be because of the whole Metroid Prime what do you call it, Mega Man stuff.
Like the tower almost, if the tower didn't have waves of enemies every like 10 feet, it would be sick. If it was just like 5 levels of platforming.
Yeah.
Because I liked that part of it. Like, 'cause those were fun, like, little platform sections.
Yeah, the boost mechanic they had, or the dash thing, was... Because then if you did it off stage, or went off a ledge with it, yeah, it was fun. Like, that part of the game was actually solid.
Dude, and then in the tower at the end, they just throw in radiation, because why the fuck not?
That was the fight in Tower 2 was the most bullshit, repetitive, like unfair fight in the whole game, which makes no sense because the difficulty curve for that fight is such a spike from everything else in the game. It was nonsense.
And then the game wants to be Banjo-Kazooie, dude. You gotta scour the desert for jigs, dude, so you can unlock the next door.
Yeah.
So sick.
And so there's like what Brad was saying earlier is like there's like this quote unquote fishing mini game where you extract the core out of someone, but you could get you can do that instantly if you get a combo of 10. Now combos are weird, not always consistent. But if you instant or extract regularly, you get a health boost. So in this one, there's mines that explode that you have to instant extract to stop radiation from killing you. But there's also 6 or 7 enemies that you gotta attack at the same time. Lots of dodging, lots of bullshit. Platforming was all right though.
The platform is the only thing that's fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't have much of a problem with the combat if there was more to it than just matching your gun color to the enemy and then pressing F or E, because E is there you get you get an AI partner, COREBOT, and you press E to use their lethal attack, or where they just like
Yeah,
target
insta kill 'em.
whatever enemy. Yeah, and if there was just like something extra, just one more mechanic that you could play with, like maybe a melee attack or something, then it would have been so much better. But it's just way too repetitive.
Well, if you got
as
actual
is.
like different weapons, it would have been fun. But you just get different colored crayons to shoot people with.
Yeah,
That's
they're not
my
even like
biggest
shotgun
complaint.
spread. They're all just fucking a beam. Or well,
You can't
not
even
beam,
upgrade it.
No,
You
just
can't even
level
upgrade
up.
the rifle.
It's got like the most bare bones RPG like system of all time. Like you just level up. I don't even know what it does.
Yeah, it's like Wilson, where like there's no direct damage modifier. Like you have to do all the shit around it, and it just it made me feel like I didn't progress at all. Like at all.
No, from once you start the game till the end of the game, you feel like the exact same like level of power.
Yeah, the only thing you can really that you see numbers change is with the COREBOT parts that you craft.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's such a roundabout way of like, oh, your level is the total level of your core bots or some shit like that, where it's like, why don't you just give me an actual level, you know? Why don't you let me like enhance my character instead of like going around scouring the earth to find these core bot parts and then putting them into the core bots and buying them and then getting the blueprints for other parts and then mixing and matching and then oh, I need a whole more level for this blueprint, which is worse than the blueprint I already have, so I don't even understand why. None of them have like special properties. There's no parts that I found that are like, oh, make the combo less for extracting or nothing cool like that.
No,
It's
it's
all
always
like
just like
stat
more
modifier.
damage, less damage, more health, recharge faster. And if it's gonna be a collection game, don't make it a fucking desert. It's literally the worst setting for collecting shit. The whole game's sand.
Yeah, that I was under the impression when starting this game that there was different biomes, and like that was just a thing that I made up in my head. That's like a false narrative. It's all sand.
Sadly mistaken.
And the game tries to be like a 12, 15-hour game, but if you actually like if you didn't have to just collect prismatic fucking cores, the game's like 4 hours long. You're literally in that tower where you need the 30 cores to like get into the tower in like 4 hours. The game is not long. It's just padded insanely.
Lots and lots of padding. Yeah, definitely. And the prismatic core thing, one, don't even know what they are. Have no idea. Like why do some monsters have prismatic cores and other people's don't? It's never explained. I scoured the internet for it.
No, that's the best part. I think all of that is explained in that Obsidian Cult DLC that no one played.
Yeah, if this game thinks I'm gonna play the DLC for it, that's not happening.
Yeah, they couldn't bait anybody into it because the gameplay wasn't good enough.
But that's the crazy part. You're really gonna make this whole game, like the whole story and everything, and not include any of the context until a DLC that you release later? That is so fucking dumb.
I mean, you can kind of infer what happened because COREBOTs went rogue. They shot down the ships in the sky, and then they uploaded all the human minds or souls or whatever they are into the prismatic cores. At least that's what I got from.
Yeah, it's fucking
Yeah,
scuffed near, dude.
Dude, this game doesn't. Don't. Yeah, it's scuffed. I don't even want to compare it to Nier. At least that's fucking amazing.
That's why I opened up with like I was told it was Nier mixed with Horizon Zero Dawn, two vastly better games. Like they
Two
don't even
critically acclaimed games. This game's not even worth playing.
No, this game is. It was rough. It was really rough. Not as nearly as rough as I thought it would be. I heard it was like it had some burrs around the edges. Not like this. This game was painful.
It's never
moving on to
fun.
story then.
Oh, story, dude.
Story.
What story? There.
Okay, so this is a fun fact.
Tell me what
all
you
right?
think happened.
What do I think happened? Well, I had to look it up. From what I knew before I started looking it up is that everyone sucked, and it was in a post-apocalyptic world in like the desert. I assume the whole world is a desert now.
Eden,
And
dude.
then and then this chick's like, okay, I'm up, but nobody else is. Let's go figure some shit out. And then you meet this amputee who's an amputee for no reason. I don't that's never explained. I don't think.
Oh, it was on Earth before they went became part of the mission to go colonize New Eden. I think there was a bad plague and because they're both from California, and his parent there was a bad plague and he got his legs got removed from that.
That's
for
even
that reason.
dumber than I could have thought. They're sending paraplegics to colonize a planet.
I think
that's fucking stupid.
I think because Earth is completely fucked, and New Eden is the only hope now.
So send the healthy people. You're sending the dude with fucked up. Well, I guess they got pretty crazy prosthetics.
Yeah, they got. Yeah, so that's not too much of a deal, but yeah, they just it's a survivors of humanity basically is all they got.
So her shit is to get a power core to get a crawler back online. Remember the crawler? The fucking
the thing that's mentioned once.
There's a COREBOT that is a monkey. There's a COREBOT that's a dog, and then there's a COREBOT that's a spider, and then the spider
is a pussy.
Lets you crawl on walls.
Yeah, Seth.
And then all of them could be a flying COREBOT or a driving COREBOT with the worst tank controls ever. Oh, no, let's circle back to gameplay. We never talked about this. If you get stuck in sand, dude, it's over.
Oh my god. Brad, you ever fall in the quicksand?
Yeah, a couple times. You can't.
No, you just
so
slowly die, dude. It's like I said, when Frank got mad about bug fables, it's at least you respawn in 3 seconds, less than that, half a second. And
you have to watch this pathetic excuse of a protagonist just slowly sink there. And if you're 1 pixel under where the collision box for the land is, and you're in quicksand, you have to sit there and wait until she's completely submerged.
And I heard on Xbox it takes 5 seconds to load back in, which I would have just threw the game out.
Loading times are pretty atrocious. And I was on SSD.
Yeah, me too. The loading's not great.
But yeah, fun fact. What is it? Mega Man, Metroid, and believe it or not, The Jungle Book.
Inspired this game.
This game was at least partially inspired by The Jungle Book.
Because there's a monkey.
I guess maybe.
Well, I mean, it's a bear. It's like a gorilla frame, or what Duncan's in the red one.
That's another thing.
It's
she can fully communicate with these robots. Where's that explained?
Oh, there's little journal entries around, holographic fucking audio journals, and if it's purple, dude, don't even pick it up. Because you can't cancel the audio, and all you hear is beep 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 beep.
Oh, because it's that one guy. Oh yeah, I remember. And there's no subtitles. It's literally a guy going beep beep boop 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 boop, and you can't even hear him. There's no subtitles. You can't. So dumb, dude.
I think the game wanted you to unlock something probably through a certain number of prismatic cores they had to collect, and then you'd be able to understand. But I wasn't about to do that.
That makes sense. Gotta get
you know what they probably wanted? It's probably that dungeon next to Jules Crawler that needs 75 prismatic orbs.
Gotta imagine doing that, dude. Imagine collecting. That's almost all the prismatic cores.
Nobody likes this game that much. There's no way.
This game is for people who don't have any other games to play.
Yeah, this is one of those.
They never played another game within this genre or anything close to it.
I don't even know what genre this is. Is it a bullet hell? Is it an adventure game? Is it a puzzle game?
It's an abomination of Metroidvania and fucking I guess a really really scuffed shmup.
Cause sometimes it's you have to dodge shit like you're playing a shmup, but it's done in the worst way of all time.
The whole time I was thinking about it, I'm like, this is just Nier if it was absolute garbage. This
Yo,
is just
see,
Horizon Zero Dawn's story if they didn't know how to write. Like,
and that's the thing with Nier. Like, you can bash the gameplay like after playing it for like 20 hours or so because you know you got to get all the endings. At least replicant, but the story in that game, you can't even compare like the quality of these two with it. Like,
No, I literally don't know
different
what
realms.
happened in ReCore. You get to the end, your dad talks to you, and then they ended on a cliffhanger, which I was fucking pissed about because I know this game's never getting a sequel.
I just really hate the fucking the Kai guy because like he's the only other human you ever see, and you chill with him once, and then he's gone for the rest of the game.
And
Oh,
then
dude,
they
I
don't
love
even
the
kill
tie.
him.
No, they do. Victor does.
No,
Remember?
wait, you didn't.
No, it's implied that he
Or
survived.
well, wait.
Yeah. You didn't see? There's a cutscene after the credits.
Oh. See, I did. This is like the first time I never watched the credits with a game I completed because I just loathed it so much.
Yeah, no, fucking. He's not dead. He sends you a message that he found something in the ravine.
Dumb.
It ends on a cliffhanger because this game's never getting a sequel.
Oh yeah. Just to touch on Victor real quick. He's there and then he's gone. Like he's the big bad antagonist, and you see him maybe like 4 times before the boss fight, or it's 4 times including the final boss fight. I don't even know, but he's like,
Yeah, it's like the main enemy.
but
I
he's
don't know what
barely
his
there.
motive is.
Oh, again, that's all explained in the Obsidian Cult DLC.
Uh-huh.
Like, the reason why he's mad and all that shit is all explained. Like, how everything happened is explained there, but not in the actual game.
Yeah, in the base story, it's just like, here's Victor. He's leader of the COREBOTs. Oh, COREBOTs are being mean. Why? Victor told them to. Because when you meet, what is it, the red monkey robot, he's like all
Duncan.
pissed. And he's like, what's up? And he's like, oh, I was Victor's homie. And they're like, oh, that explains it. I'm like, that doesn't explain shit. Why is Victor such an asshole?
It's just he hates humans, I guess.
Well,
I don't know.
fucking Victor killed his Duncan's
Oh, it was like his
I don't even
original
know,
what do you call it?
engineer.
Pilot. I don't know what the fuck
Yeah.
they called it.
Yeah, whoever the fucking people were sleeping in the crawlers. I don't even know what their title is.
There's a bunch of scientists.
And then Victor's like, I killed everybody. And then, because you're searching for your dad or whatever. And then, like, at the end, you get your cutscene with your dad. He's like, I've been dead the whole time. It's like, really? Really? So what's the point of this game? Everyone's just dead?
No, it was supposed to be really like a really sentimental moment because a part of him was in the COREBOTs all along. Your dad was there the whole time, you know? So
Oh yeah, his memories. I think he's like supposed to be a copy of the dad, but
It's like they played Soma and they're like, yeah. That's what they got from it.
this game wishes it could be Soma, dude.
It's the same story, dude.
oh, I just want to going back to where you first meet Kai. I just want to touch on like after like, oh, I gotta get these. He tells you what he needs for like his legs and stuff, and you're leaving. And he goes, you know, I'm finally glad to know there's somebody else out here. And Jules just like, yeah, sure.
Dude,
And just
Peace.
walks away.
the dialogue is
Paraph-
horrendous.
Like the words didn't match the gravity of what the music and what
Like,
they
she
were
says
trying to
that,
portray.
and then she's like all upset when she thinks he's dead.
Yeah, it's like a weird juxtaposition of fucking.
And why's the first
It
time
just
you fight?
clashes.
Dude, the first time you fight Victor, way harder, way more fun, and a way better boss fight. The second fight is trash. Like the final boss fight.
Boring.
It's
He's
so
just a
lame.
huge sponge. I don't even think he attacked me in the final fight.
The room's so big, you can just like literally kite him from a mile away.
Yeah, your average your average mook was more powerful than he was.
And like the little like quirk he has at the end where it's like you can't extract his core, you gotta hit him with the COREBOT while you're like fishing for him. And it's like, dude, I didn't even use COREBOTs until like 75% the way through the game. There's no need to.
Yeah, I mean, once I got Duncan, I just started spamming his ability because it's so broken.
I just switched to like, all right, Max off a cooldown, go to Seth. All right, his stuff's on cooldown, switch out again. I didn't
Yeah,
really bother matching the COREBOT's colors to the enemy.
it does crazy damage. I basically used I used what's the dog's name, Mac. I
Yeah.
used him as the flying because like the blue laser, super powerful, and then just Duncan in the red frame because he literally will aggro every enemy, and you don't even have to dodge anything.
I didn't really use Duncan.
Not that the game's hard anyway.
Could
Anytime
you
you die,
imagine
it's
playing this
bullshit.
on release?
It was probably horrendous. The game was buggy as fuck already.
Yeah, because there was an update because we played Definitive Edition, right? And on release there was problems with audio, performance, waypoints, collision, checkpoints, and respawn points. Not only that, but the loading screens were all over the place, dude, and it would crash. Now I still got 3 crashes, and I think the game's bad juju because my whole breaker box in my house died while playing this game.
It's true. ReCore destroyed your home. Yeah, no, I had a cutscene. You know where you get that like the trolley to the Tower of Eden, and then
Yeah.
Victor jumps on it. When Jules holding the prismatic core, dude, it was like 10 feet behind her. The whole cutscene, so she's like not even holding any. It's like floating behind her and shit. It's fucked.
Oh, have you guys? So when you die, or you get knocked off stage or whatever, and like you were getting hit while you're knocked off, and when you respawn back on, you still get hit. Like there's like it carries over for some reason, and you're stuck in like a hit animation. That happened to me, and I just got knocked right back off and died.
I don't think that's happened to me, but
Dude.
I'm not surprised with this game.
My left click froze at one point when I was on floor 5. I couldn't press like left click wasn't working.
Oh, I
I
couldn't
had to
even
fucking
play with
restart
mouse,
the game.
dude.
Yeah, no, I played
Really?
with controller. I wasn't doing that anymore. I couldn't deal with mouse and keyboard.
For some reason, because I have 2 monitors, the game would not like actually full screen. So it's like if I drifted too far to the right, my mouse was literally all on the other monitor. Like it wouldn't be exclusive, so it just straight up didn't work with mouse and keyboard for me.
Good thing there's an auto aim.
Yeah.
And like falling out, what I didn't understand until like until that second tower, one little enemy thing, because honestly, it feels like half the game I was just in this fucking room 2 and tower 2. Like it really felt that long. It wasn't, but it was just such a pain in the ass. And there's parts of that stage that you can fall through. I didn't know that falling down into an infinitely like downward spiral of death didn't actually kill you. Like, why does
Oh,
falling
yeah.
not kill you? That didn't make sense to me. You just respawn up there, and then you get like shit canned on because there's like a because yeah, I noticed some things when falling down. Like if I would fall down to my death, I would still be like impacted by like a burn state, or I would still be in hit stun from something that hit me beforehand. Like
Yeah, I never noticed that, but that is horrible game design.
Definitely weird.
I guess so you can't cheese, but that's still like any other game. If you fall off, you kind of you'd probably respond with like invincibility, you know? Like you take some damage and then you're good.
sound design, music is forgettable.
I literally don't remember a single thing.
Nope, not a single time where I was like, oh, this is really setting the scene.
I guess
Like,
that's not a bad. It wasn't bad then.
Yeah.
Like I did like some of the music because it reminded me of some post rock songs, but it would have been way better like if I just listened to it by itself without the game, because the game it just drags the score down, or the music score down, just because the game itself wasn't.
Bland. Everything was bland, and she keeps petting this fucking robot dog and having like this really like intimate relationship with these fucking robots, dude. Why is she petting the robot dog?
What was that dog robot toy from the 2000s?
Tecmo.
Oh,
Yeah, the Tecmo dog. It's like that, dude. You gotta pet it. Becomes happy. Plays your iPod.
See,
It's
like
just
I actually,
what? My
You
Or
bad.
liked
I-
the dog.
no, I liked how they made them like really expressive and shit. Sure, it doesn't make sense how she could understand them, but I don't know. It was
The
like
COREBOTs were
one of
cool.
the.
I didn't hate the COREBOTs.
They were.
I guess I
hopeful.
liked their design overall. If that's one thing one praise.
They
I
were
can
all
give it.
unique. Like they had personalities, which I guess is cool. Yeah. Like the dog was a
But-
dog. The spider was a pussy. The monkey was.
But then they ruin it by explaining it, dude. Then they're like, because there's a whole fucking thing. Like I can't remember if it was like an audio journal or if it was like in a cutscene, but it's like, I made 3 COREBOTs. One of them a companion, the other a fearful combatant, and then the third one a unrelenting force. You know, and I'm like, yep, that's what it was. That was very
Oh,
obvious.
his
Thank
dad. Her dad.
you. Yeah.
Okay. Well, never mind.
Oh,
It's
so-
ruined.
Instead of them just like developing it themselves, so they were just made that way. That
They
is kinda-
overdeveloped it. You could see
That
it
is
in their
lame.
fucking in the way they walk, dude. It's like, yeah, Spider's a pussy. Yeah, the one that looks like Knuckles from fucking Sonic is like, who's the tall one in Sonic fucking Freedom Force or whatever?
What the
Oh.
show?
Tall Knuckles.
Tall. I don't know who you're talking about.
Wait,
He
yeah,
muscular fucking monkey one looks just reminded me of him the whole time.
what
The
you
tall
mean Knuckles
Sonic.
design in the show?
Maybe that was just
I don't-
Knuckles like looking stupid.
Big the cat, dude.
Yeah, Big the Cat.
Froggy.
That was that Jungle Book inspiration.
They really said it's inspired by Jungle Book.
I swear to God, hang on, where's the wiki article? This game was directed by Mark Picani of the Metroid Prime series. Mega Man and Metroid influenced the manner in which robotic characters and world unlocking were developed, and the cinematic story was impacted by Seton's reading of the Jungle Book.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
For
That's
one,
wacky.
the Jungle Book takes place. Now I might be wrong here. In a jungle, and this game does not. So I don't know where the setting's coming from. What does this have? That actually pisses me off, dude.
Hang on, let me get the article.
I mean, it's been years since I've.
It's just
Watch
it's
that
about
movie,
a boy in
but-
the jungle with animals. Okay. This is about a girl in the desert with robots. Is that the
Maybe that's a
same thing?
parallel they're drawing.
I don't know.
Oh, well, this guy reads the Jungle Book every year.
Oh my god.
He said
Wait, reads
it's
it.
just a story of human in a
Yeah.
world that's not human, and how characters around them deal with that character, and the wonder of the charm of the world is such. It's a perennial favorite for me. That's what he said. So there's a little of the Jungle Book in everything he makes.
This guy sucks. No wonder he made such a shitty game.
Well, he also wrote with Halo, so I mean,
What'd he write? The Flood?
I don't know. Hang on.
Which Halo games did he write for?
The worst ones, dude.
What, 4 and 5?
How's this dude gonna say, I read the Jungle Book every year?
Every year.
It's the only book I read. The Jungle Book.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with rereading books, but I don't know, that seems excessive.
Also, the Jungle Book isn't some like literary masterpiece.
Made the first Halo. He wrote the script for the first Halo.
Then how did he fuck this up, dude?
Yeah, I mean, the first Halo it's pretty solid for sci-fi shit.
Well,
Even though it borrows from a lot, like it's still really good. So, then he goes and makes ReCore,
but
even though it was a while ago.
when you think about it, the Halo writing's actually horrible. It's just like it's like a sci-fi movie on sci-fi TV channel, dude. It's like corny.
Oh well, yeah, they borrow from. I mean, yeah, you have the Flood, which is basically like that one. What the hell is it from 40K? Can't remember their names.
The Flood's the most generic shit ever, for sure.
Oh, plant zombies.
The Happening, dude.
Um. Oh yeah, prismatic cores. Not all prismatic cores are the same. Some you
Uh,
find by fighting big monsters, and others you find in the
uh,
dirt, which is bullshit.
You don't like Minesweeper with Mac, dude? The game.
Yeah, when I dug up a prismatic core, I'm like, why? Why is it just buried here? When like just beforehand, I almost died fighting this gigantic beast that changed colors, and then it's just like, oh, yeah, I'm laying in the dirt.
Also, Victor's like his whole thing is like, give me the prismatic core, but he can't figure out where they are in the sand. Like,
Yeah.
like he just doesn't know how to do that, even though he's a sentient robot.
yeah, this is one of the classic cases where the gameplay doesn't match up with the narrative, but really badly in this
Yeah,
case.
because they do make it like seem like prismatic cores are like it's like uranium in today. It's like
Yeah.
so important, but yeah, they're
And I'm
just
like,
buried in the sand. Well, I guess yeah, no, it's dumb.
I looked up the analytics, and I was running this game at an average of 180 frames a second, but the prismatic cores run at like 5 frames
Yeah, for some,
because
they're like super unoptimized.
they
I will say,
What are you gonna say?
all I was gonna say is like, as much as they were dumb, their purpose, I thought the graphic and animation that the prismatic core had did actually look pretty cool. Like even if they were running at pretty crappy frame
Yeah,
rate,
they
I,
look
I
was
like
alright.
their.
shiny, pretty.
Well, in a game full of no color, it was cool to see something with some vibrance. Every once in a while.
Yeah, the best part of the game was the platforming in the last mission.
Because it's not
And
a desert.
yeah, because it's like Horizon Zero Dawn did that type of thing where it's like, all right, you're out of the wilderness and into like this whole robot thing. But whereas Horizon Zero Dawn had like structure and like the architecture told a story in its dungeons. Um, whether it be a shallow story or an intricate story. I mean, that's up to anyone else. But like these dungeons are like, here's blank cyberspace with platforms that disintegrate and come back with lasers and shit, and it's like, where is this dungeon in space and time? Like, honestly.
It's Eden, dude. Far Eden. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't just make all the dungeons sort of fucking like the last one. Because that would have been more fun.
Yeah, some of those dungeons were really lame. There's one with
They're
cool
all the same.
platforming, but
They're-
yeah, a lot
they're
of them
all
just
just
turn
like-
into like a.
Like you get to like a hub area and it's like, all right, go down these 3 corridors to get keys to open like the boss area. They're all the same.
And then this is what I hated the most. You can't just like beat the dungeon and get like the shit you get from the dungeon. You have to beat it in a certain time period and get the yellow key, which isn't a key, it's an orb, and then you got to press all the switches. And if you don't do all of those, you don't get all the rewards. It's like, just let me beat the fucking dungeon, dude.
I sort of liked that because it was kind of like, it reminded me like Crash Bandicoot, where you could get like the different things for doing different objectives.
Yeah, but then I gotta do a dungeon at the very least twice because I'm not gonna beat it in the time limit the first time. There's no fucking way. And of
Well,
course, the
add it to
prismatic
the
core is gonna
padding,
be
dude.
stuck behind the time limit.
Yeah, no, that was the problem, is that you didn't know what the yellow key or hitting the 8 switches unlocked in that, and which dungeon. Because all I wanted was the 2 prismatic cores, but I didn't know which thing I had to
objective,
satisfy. Yeah, which objective to satisfy to get the second prismatic core. That was my main issue with them.
And loot felt pointless about 10 hours. I mean, not 10 hours, like fucking 20% through the game.
Yeah,
Because like
you're just
get
getting
solid
shit.
gear.
Yeah.
I started skipping chess. Not gonna lie, I didn't want to go through the animation. As bad as that is.
That's insane. It's like 2 seconds.
Dude, it was pointless. I already had good upgrades on my COREBOTs. I mean, obviously I'm biased because I didn't like the game.
The game's horrible. None of us liked it.
Oh, that leads us right into our opinions on the game.
It's horrible.
Yeah, Colin. I think you said what did you say? One of the worst games, really?
It's
Like,
one of the worst
honestly?
games I've ever finished. I really can't think. Only Werewolf the Apocalypse fucking Blood Curd.
And you're on a good fucking record here, Frank.
Yo, you made me play Battalion Wars. Fuck you,
That game
dude.
kind of sucks, dude.
And it's better than this game.
Frank, you
No,
cannot,
it's not.
Frank, you cannot honestly say you've beaten a game worse than this.
Oof.
Cause
Max Payne 3.
hell no, dude. There's no fucking way.
Dude, I'm telling you,
Max Payne 3 doesn't
3
make
is
you go into
worse.
the desert and fucking play Minesweeper for orbs and sand, dude. That alone is a sin.
Well, that's another thing we gotta talk about. You listened to the internet,
True.
which was a huge mistake.
I gathered 15 more cores than I needed to, which is my own fault. And the game only still took me 6.5 hours. So realistically, the game would have took me 5 hours.
Yeah, I gathered 39, and Brad, I think you said earlier that you got 30, which is all you
Yeah.
needed. You only needed 30.
Yeah, I could have saved
So
a
I
lot
could have
of
beat
time.
the game earlier too.
Even then, you still have to do it. Because at no point do you just get 30. Like, if you just play the game straightforward, you're going to have to go into the desert, and you're going to have to play Minesweeper.
Yeah, that's super antiquated game design in my opinion. Having you get to the final like level, and then they're like, nope, fuck you, go back and do this fetch quest. It's like, no, fuck you, dude, get out of here with that. Like, I hate that.
That's just, it's literally the bane of, like, where we are with open world games, where it's like, we created this huge empty open world, and we're going to force you to explore it. It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah, and it's not interesting. It's not like a populated world like Grand Theft Auto or an interesting world like Horizon Zero Dawn. It's sand.
Yeah, that's all it is. And yeah, and then the shifting sands area where the sands shift, and then there's literally just cores you can't get depending on how the sand shifted. So dumb. Brad loved the game though.
Yeah, Brad, what'd you
Oh
think?
yeah, dude. My life would have been better off never playing it.
Worst game you ever played, dude? You've ever beaten
No.
for sure.
I mean, I'm sure I could toss give that title to some Newgrounds Flash games in the
We won't
decade
count that,
ago.
'cause that's
But yeah, I know. But definitely recently, like one of the worst. Yeah,
the only worst game I've played and beaten was that werewolf game. And
But for context, I also picked Werewolf.
and I don't. This has to be some sort of recent biasy, but I really do think ReCore is worse.
Ooh, wow.
Because it's longer.
Yeah, no. I try to pick shorter games, and I really thought like this game would be worth playing, like genuinely. I'm past the point of just being petty and picking games that suck, but this is the biggest disappointment of a game that I've played by far, easily.
yeah. I'd say it's the worst game I played in the last 6 years. Because if I don't like a game after playing like an hour or two, I generally drop it. So
But you were
this is
forced, dude, and you've beaten ReCore. You can put that on your belt notch, dude.
yeah. What a fucking accolade!
One
I'll
of the
put it
few
right on my
ReCore
chest.
beaters, dude.
Well, that means this game is better than Control, right, Brad?
No, Control's better. Come on.
Yo,
now.
let Brad answer.
Come
no?
on. I'm not even gonna let him walk himself into that fucking lie.
Well, no, I did drop Control, but that's because
That was a different Brad.
Yeah, no, we've come a long way.
I mean, if it was this game of the month, I would have finished Control. I probably,
And like
from what I remember, the gameplay was more fun.
it was. That was a million. The settings a trillion times more interesting, and the
Yeah.
story.
It
Yeah,
didn't need to
Control
rely
beats this game
auto
by
aim.
a
Even
billion.
Battalion Wars, like, I really didn't like it, but it at least was unique. Nothing about ReCore is redeeming. Like I said, at its best, dude, it's bearable, and that's when it's peaking. Like like when the game is at its climax, the best it could ever be, it's not pissing me off, which is horrible.
Yeah, because I feel like Battalion Wars could have been fixed with controls, and I don't think you could fix ReCore with controls.
Yeah, like Battalion Wars 2, it definitely is it gets fixed in the second one.
I
I
swear
mean,
to
thank
God. I
God.
swear to God, Brad.
He's
It's
already
way
You make
better
me
hyping
with
it
play
up, dude.
Battalion Wars
He's already
2.
hyping it up.
Overall score out of 5, I give it a 2.
That's the same score you gave to Bug Fables.
I know. I liked it as equally.
You're fucking something else, dude. You need
I
better taste, my
despised Bug
friend.
Fables. I don't know what to tell you.
Come on, dude.
You guys knew I despised Bug Fables.
Even-
I
even if
explained
you
at
don't-
length all the reasons
even
why
if you
I didn't
don't
like
like
Bug
Bug
Fables. I was going to
Fables-
give this game a higher score than Bug Fables.
You are a crackhead.
You know what? At least Bug Fables didn't fucking lock out one of my controls one time.
Dude,
Fucking A.
even if you don't like Bug Fables or a Paper Mario inspired game, you have to recognize that Bug Fables is a fundamentally better game than ReCore.
Yeah, it's better, but in different aspects.
No, what does ReCore do better than Bug Fables?
Yeah, I
I
want to
like
hear
the
this one,
gameplay of
dude.
ReCore more.
Okay, but that's a
Unironically,
personal bias.
not even lying. Yeah, it's my personal score.
So that one aspect makes it even with Bug Fables?
Yeah, because gameplay is 90% of the experience in a video game.
I mean,
It depends on the
it's
game.
That's meshed with
It
everything
does
else
depend
in
on the game, 100%. But this game's story definitely isn't beaten out. I care about the story of both these games the same.
The music's a million times better in Bug Fables.
Music is better than
The
Bug
art
Fables. You know what?
style and setting, way better.
Just for you guys, dude, I'll knock it down. I'll give this game a fucking 1.9. There, Bug Fables is better.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's rounding up, dude. Whatever.
1.9. Dude,
What do you guys give it?
I'll go last.
Me. All right, mine's definitely a 1.5.
One
Uh,
and a half.
Obviously, you know, you got to put in my bias work. Then I started out saying I absolutely detested the game, but the only redeeming factors is the platforming, which is super spread out before you get to the tower, and it's another good thing.
He's digging in the good things.
I mean, if I listen to the music outside of the game, I'd probably like it.
Is that it? Do you
Oh,
recommend
one more.
it?
Oh, fuck no. And just one more thing.
Oh, yeah,
I did like. I like
don't
the
recommend
COREBOTs.
game.
How expressive they were. That's all I got.
Yeah, but didn't Frank ruin that by telling you they're programmed to be expressive?
Yeah, but I still like their the mannerisms and how they animated it, I guess. But that's all.
All right, I'm struggling to give the game either a 1 or a 0.5. And that is solely weighing on the fact that it gets a 0.5 because the game is playable from beginning to end. So it gets half a point for that. And I'm struggling to give it another half point because it was almost fun at the end of the game. But the internet lied to me, which might deduct that half point because I had to play the game.
The internet ruins.
I had to play the
another
game
game.
for 1/5
Hour.
longer than I should have. I'll give it a 1. This game should have never been made. I don't know
It came out in 2016.
I don't know how they made this game and went, this is a good product to ship. Like, this is some shit you'd see on Steam that's like a fucking asset flip game. It does nothing good. Not one aspect of it's fun. It's the worst game I've ever played. Easily.
This game came out the same year as Final Fantasy 15, as Dark Souls 3, as Firewatch, Titanfall 2.
And they can't even argue like it's low budget. Dude, pretty sure Microsoft published this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had that money.
Trash. How do you get that kind of like funding? Theoretical. I don't know how much money they actually received, but they put something out like that. The game looks like shit. It plays like shit. The story's shit. The animation's junk. Worst game,
Yeah,
dude.
I can't find how much it costs to
they're
make
too
this
embarrassed
game.
to say, dude, because it's pathetic. I don't know how that game even got made, dude.
They made it in 14 months.
I would have. You could have told me 6 months, and I would have been the same amount of surprise, dude.
Oh shit! All right, they also had Asobo Studio. Lots of people made this game.
And none of them made good games before this game.
Asobo Studio made Monopoly Plus,
Oh my fucking
Toy
god.
Story 3, Connect Rush, a Disney Pixar adventure, and Disneyland Adventures.
Dude, it's really like they took a bunch of people who made ports of games that already existed and fucking mobile board game video games and went, yeah, make a AAA adventure game. That's gonna end well.
Yeah, here's your blank check. Don't waste it.
For real. You know what? I'm less mad about it now because they had no reason to succeed and they didn't. So
It was
So the game gets a 3.
no, the game still sucks. But it's not their fault. They had no fucking expectations and they landed with none. So
they didn't fight against fate.
yeah.
So
The game was destined to be garbage, and it was.
So what's the next game?
A real game, a game that's actually good and not offensive. Record of Lotus War, Deed Lit and
Oh
Wonder
shit.
Labyrinth, dude. A good
Let's
game.
fucking
That
go,
is a
dude.
mouthful.
See,
You're gonna
Read
do
my
the
record
intro
of
next.
load.
You're gonna
I-
do the intro next month because I can't say that.
what do you mean? Record of Lotus War, Deed Lit and Wonder Labyrinth, dude.
That's gonna be a fucking problem.
I've read about
ROLWDIWL, dude.
Isn't it a
Dwiddle.
tactical RPG?
No, it's like it's a metro. It's like Castlevania Symphony of Night. There's a bunch of Record of Lotus War shit. It's like I guess it's like D&D with a Japanese twist, like the
'Cause I think
mythos.
there's an
anyway.
anime on it.
Yeah, it's like an OVA, I think.
Oh, there's a SNES game that's a tactical.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of
RPG.
games for
Okay.
it.
Any closing statements?
Don't play ReCore. Frank is starting to. I'm losing faith in what he thinks a good game is.
Yeah, choose a better game.
took a
God
shot.
damn it, you twat.
Damn, dude. Now,
Remember, I picked Control and Sleeping Dogs, 2 decent
you're
games.
50-50. You're 50-50.
I am 50-50.
Keep it 55th Street, dude.
Listen, Brad's running straight duds for me, all right? So,
It's not my fault you can't appreciate good things.
uh-huh. All right. That's all for me.
Yeah, yeah, play ReCore if you want to see what a bad game's like.
You got no closing statement, Frank?
Me? This game is just as good as Bug Fables.
That's trash. All right, we're ending it.
Dude, all right.
It's over. Bye.